So, guys, today we will start chapter 4, the JavaScript interview series. So, hope you are following my videos, the JavaScript interview series. That questions will help you much and much, just like in the basic understanding, basic interview questions. So I will, as I told you, I will keep the mix questions, not any specific, just like basic, intermediate, and advanced like things, because there are different kind of, just like students are there, some working professionals are there. So this is helpful for all the categories of persons. So in that case, I am not having any specific video. Whatever I am setting, that will be helpful, just like in the interview, in front of interviews. So you have to follow with me. You have to just keep learning from here. 3 to 5 questions is not more enough, and half an hour video is not just like is nothing, just like you can easily see the videos in a day. Okay, if you are in the social network, so you have just responding to your friends. Okay, you are just like spending time in others. So for half an hour, if you just pick half an hour for you, so that will be beneficial for your life. So my suggestion is that every day just check my questions and answers and try to practice if you get some time. If you are working professional, so just see my videos in phone. Okay, if it is possible, then in that, just like in company laptop, you can see my videos if YouTube is enabled in your machine, and you can follow these questions and try to practice. Just like if you have no option to, just like some editors to your personal things, so there are many kinds of websites are there, just like some jsbin.js is website, so you can practice there. Simple JavaScript practice you have to. Otherwise, any browser, I have told you, when you are inside the browser, so you can just right click, inspect, and here console, you can write your tons of programs here, and also the parallel outputs you will get, because this is the platform where where the JavaScript engine is written. So all the, for example, if anybody type filter, so there are a lot of functions related to filter, console, filter, find, file, everything, confirm, console, you can see everything is there. So there are a lot of functions are there inside this. If nothing is possible, then it is very simple thing. You can easily see this browser things, start consoling every code, every line of code, and you will get the output here itself. Okay, so let's start for today. What are the important questions for you? So today is chapter 4. There are 3 questions I have taken here. What is scope? Very important question and very confusing also. But I will show you with practical example, so it will be easy for you to understand. What is scope or lexical scope? There are many terms, some technical languages are the interviewer are generally asked. So don't worry about that. These are just like some technical terms. But the thing is that when you have some concept clear in your mind, then they cannot just like distract you. Okay, so focus on that. What is a scope or lexical scope in JavaScript? So just understand the meaning of scope. Scope means the area where the variable, where the things are, the environment, we can say, where the variables are exist. In what environment the variables are exist. Lexical is the environment, the nearby environment. Scope means the scope, where the block scope, where the outer scope, inner scope, these kind of things. For example, I will start file for chapter 4.js. Okay, so this is the chapter 4. Now, for example, we have to show the scope. Scope means here what? For example, if where a equal to, very simple, from simple coding, I will try to understand to you. If something true, and we start here, and where b equal to 20. So what it means, the where a is actually in the global scope, global environment, that in this program file, we can access easily the global variable or global things. Okay, but what is this? This is the block thing. In case of let, as I told you previously in some videos, that let is block scoped. When we are declaring any variable with let keyword, so the let belongs to its block scoping only, not just like the outer scope, just like in the global scope. So here, this is not accessible outside of this scope because it is defined, it is declared as let. So this is the scope. And if this let is belongs to this block, so this is the lexical. This is the variable, just like we can say the birth of the variable and death of the variable is here within this scope. So this is the lexical. This is the environment actually. The variable belongs to this scope. And for this global scope, this is the lexical environment for this global scope. So lexical means the environment where the variable is exists. In the function itself has some scope, functional scope for where we are saying the functional scope is there. So this is the environment, this is the lexical scope for that variable inside the function. Okay, so now you can understand what is scope. Scope means it is two types, just like the global scope and the local scope. Local means within the same block or within the function. You can say easily in one line or two line. Next, what is TDZ, temporal dead zone? It is very, very important. Temporal dead zone. Actually, this concept is came when the ES6 introduced. So temporal dead zone means when we have some scope. For example, I will take an example over here. For example, I have a function, let sum function, and I define some variable. What I say, I call the variable. I log number variable. Okay, some number where let number equal to 100. And when we call this function, so what happened? Just try to understand. Don't be in hurry. Try to understand what happens here. So note, you can see there is error. What error? Some error is coming here, but it is not just like defined over here. What we can do, we can do like this. We can copy this and go to the browser. Browser will give me the exact answer. Cannot access number before initialization. What it means? We run the program over here. We are consoling something. After that, we are defining some variable. We are calling this variable before, and then after we are defining this variable. And what happens if this is with var? Just try to understand everything you will get. Undefined, no error, no any error. It is undefined. Undefined is just like a data type. It means there is no block of the code. Code will not blocked here. It means when we are declaring or defining with let keyword, so the let, due to the let or due to the const, this is not hoisted, means this instance, this pointer will not go to the, just like above this line, means before the console.log, because it is not hoisted. So what it means here, the next question is exactly belongs to that. I will tell you. So it is actually creating the temporal dead zone. How it is creating? I will tell you. So you see, when we are declaring with where, it means the scope will go here. This where keyword will host it. Host means just when the function body is started, then the scope goes here. How? Just like I will tell you how this will work. It will work like this. When we are defining, so, oh, sorry, it will work like this. Var, then we are assigning the number. When the compiler work like this. Var is just host inside the function, because I am not just like outside the function. It is inside the function. And this is called the lexical scope within the same environment. The var hosted here itself, so that it is undefined, because we are only declare this var. The compiler looking like this. The compiler make my function, this function just like this in case of var. But in case of let, when we are declaring here let, so this is not hoisted. This will not go to the scope, the top scope. So it creates the let and const create the temporal dead zone. How they are creating? Just like this. I just remove this. You can write this. So T temporal dead zone. Initialize. Initialized. How? For example, console.log some value. Okay. Then what we define here, let some value equal to 100. So within this scope block, when the execution is starts, So it will go to the temporal dead zone, means temporal dead zone is initiated here. Then temporal dead zone is continued. It will go to here, continued. Temporal dead zone continued. Okay, we can write like this, continued. Then what happens? It comes here. So it will throw us error like this error. Cannot access number before initialization because let creates the temporal dead zone. Okay, so if anybody asks what is temporal dead zone, you need to define that temporal dead zone like this. Temporal dead zone. Here temporal dead zone is exist continued. Here when we assign the variable temporal dead zone stopped means ends. Okay, and here no temporal dead zone. It means the value temporal dead zone is what? Temporal dead zone is that until the value is not initialized. Okay, until the value is not initialized, this is the temporal dead zone. Until the value is not initialized and till the value is initialized. So this area, basically this area becomes the temporal dead zone. Okay, so this area becomes the temporal dead zone here, we can say. So temporal dead zone is that until the value is not initialized, the temporal dead zone starts on execution, and when till the computer or the system initialize the value, the temporal dead zone exists. So the area of temporal dead zone is just like before, and it is only in case of let, not in case of var. It is only in case of let and const. So you can see what is the temporal dead zone. Before I did not have any definition, but I am just trying to understand to you. So in one line, you can see when the variable is not initialized, till the variable is not initialized, the temporal dead zone starts from the that area. Okay, this is the temporal dead zone, you can say. And you can also try to give some example like this. This is also making some temporal dead zone also. Because here the same error is coming. Cannot access number before initialization. So it is also make some temporal dead zone in case of let and const. So this is the understanding of this. What is TDZ temporal dead zone? So you can give an example. With example, you can show, you can make a showcase, then you can say him. When anybody runs this code, the reference error will come over here and temporal dead zone starts because this is the dead zone of this variable. Variable is not hoisted. So the dead zone is here till here and here ends. And here there is no any temporal dead zone because this variable again when the compiler comes here, so it restore means it gets its value. So I think hope this will understand. If anything, then you can ping me. I will tell you some definition on that if you want. Okay. So next is what the next question. What is the side effect in JavaScript? What is the pure and impure function? Very important questions. Side effects. What is side effect? I will tell you with example. Comment it out. Then after I will start over here. Side effect means what? Very simple. Don't go with long answers. Very simple side effects. For example, var side effect equal to 10. I have defined this. And I have created a function. For example, function side effect fun function. Okay, and calling this function with some value, for example, some number, you can say 20. There is a number, and returning, because this is function, we have to return this value. What we have to return? Side effect plus equal to number. Okay, plus equal to means just like this. I have told you in previous video, I think. Plus equal to means side effect. 1 minute. It means side effect equal to side effect plus number. Okay. So what happens when we run this code? I will tell you exactly what is side effect. Okay. So we have to console this. So we will get hut log console it. You can see 30. What happens here? It is showing me 30. And what about this? If we have just blocked this, we are not passing this variable. So what happens here? Means side effect is not defined, saying means value is not coming to this. Otherwise, what we can do, if we have some 110 value and 20. So what it becomes here? 130 means it is this function is dependent of this variable, the outer variable, I mean to say. This is not dependent on this argument thing only. This is also belongings to this side effect variable. It means every time it is not dependent on this 20. Every time it is dependent also with this side effect. So what is the side effect? Side effect means if any function is affected by surroundings, affected by outer state. So this is called the side effect. If any function is affected by surrounding variable, surrounding state, so that is actually the side effect of that function. And this side effect, that function is called the impure function. It is not pure function. So what is pure function? Here I have told you three questions actually. What is side effect? What is pure and impure function? Three questions are made over here. So all questions are correlated. Side effect means the outer surrounding is affected. Function is affected by the outer variable, outer surrounding. I just show to you how it is affected. And what is impure? This is the function. Whatever the function over is affected function is, this is just like impure function because it is affected by the outer surrounding, outer variable, outer state, we can say. If somebody write this log over here, so this console object is actually changing the state. So it is also when nothing is written over here, although when only logs is here, so although this is impure function because this console object is changing our state. So anything which affect the state, which affect the internal function behavior, return behavior, so that is actually the side effect, and that function actually known as the impure function. So what about the pure function then? Impure we have seen example, but what about the pure function? So I will tell you the pure function also. Pure function are those functions which gives the same result for same number of arguments, for same type of arguments. What is pure function? Pure functions are those functions which gives same result for same number of arguments for same type of arguments. Okay. So what it means? We have written const sum equal to function n1 comma n2. Okay. Return n1 plus n2. Now for this function log sum, we are giving two arguments. So what happens over here? This give me 5. When we have some other, for same number of arguments, it gives me the same results. This same results means this variable is not affected by any other variable. These arguments are fixed. Two arguments are here, means outer variable, just like this. This is not affected. So all time they are getting two arguments, all time they are getting these two arguments as a variable, and all time they are returning by doing the sum of these two arguments. So this is the example, best example of pure function. And also mind, don't write here just like instead of return, don't like here console, because I have previously told you the console is the object which actually affect the state. So if anybody is affecting the state of any function, so that is also makes the impure function. Now this is the example of pure function. Hope guys you got these questions, and if any confusion then you can tell me and in the description box of this video. And please watch my channel. Please like, if you like any video then please make a like, so that can give me inspiration to make a new videos for you. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.